I want to talk about the rope I use and why. I use a rope called the Mach 3 Plus by Fastback Ropes. They have been building my ropes for quite a few years now, and one of the things that I really like about the Mach 3 Plus, it's a little longer and it's a light rope with body that I can control from a long distance back. You know, if you're going to run close, a rope doesn't have to be exact. You can use an older rope, a fuzzier rope, a heavy rope, or a big rope. But if you're going to reach and be consistent at reaching, you got to have something that you can control and throw a long ways back. And one of the things I do at home is I rope a lot of muleys because they're harder to be able to reach and rope a calf around the neck and control your rope. But whether you're roping a muley or steers around the horns, you got to have control of your rope and be able to handle your rope and then set up the corner for your heeler. And the Mach 3 allows me to be able to throw, pull my slack, and set up the corner before my horse has a chance to get away from me. The bigger, the heavier, the slower the rope, the more chance your horse has to get away from you, and then that affects your handle. Now, the one thing I will say about the Mach 3 is it does have a weakness as far as the weather. If you run into extreme heat or extreme cold, you really have to take care of the rope and keep it out of those weathers because with it having so much body and being a lighter rope, it will affect it. But that's the one thing the 4 strand has on the 3 strand ropes. They are tougher, they're more durable, they don't change so much in extreme cold or extreme heat. But I just try to take care of my rope and make sure that I keep it out of those situations. And that is very important. How you break in a rope, how you maintain your rope. You can't just throw your rope in the back of the trailer and let it be 110 degrees driving down the road and get to the rope and expect it to feel good. You got to keep your rope in consistent temperature so that when you do get the rope and it feels good, try to keep it in the shade. And when you break in your rope, you want to run a couple steers, put it in a bag. If that's the rope you're going to use that weekend, and let it have a chance to regain its memory so it'll feel good when you get it out of the bag. One of the things I do is I put my rope on a pole and stretch it so that I don't get rubber inside my hands when I run close. I'll get rubber close and then I might go reach at the roping or the rodeo. So I use a lot of new ropes. Do I say you have to use new ropes? I just like the feel, the quickness of a rope. I'll just stretch it and use it for a little bit. But one of the things about using a new rope is you've got to make sure you get it tight on the horns. If you don't stretch it, sometimes it'll wave off. You just got to make sure you have control of it. This is a practice session of me and Clay O'Brien Cooper. He was my hero growing up. I was a healer and I always watched and studied what he did. And what I am doing right now is I'm staying home teaching, doing a lot of private schools at my house, and building a complete training center online. If you like to rope and you think that you can learn by watching videos of me and some of the other ropers that come to my house, then you might want to check out speedroping.com because I have videos of me and Michael Jones, me and Brad Culpepper practicing, me and Rich Skelton going at it, practicing. I show you what we do, what we work on, and how that you can practice to have success when you leave home. You got to remember the difference in the winners are how they practice, how they're prepared, and how their horses work when they leave home. And that is my goal with speedroping.com is to be able to teach people how to be successful when they leave home so they don't have to make all the mistakes that we made and you have to learn so slowly. What I do is I put it in slow motion, freeze frame, and show you how to fix your horse, how to practice on your horse. So when you leave home, your chance to overcome the obstacles that can happen are a lot better. Remember, it's how you practice. You practice to win. You don't practice to fail, but you practice to be able to overcome anything that can happen, and you make it harder in a practice pen so when you leave home, it's easier. One of the questions I get asked when people are talking about ropes is what's the difference in the Mach 3 and the Mach 3 Plus? The Mach 3 is just a toned down version of what I use. It doesn't have as much body. It's not as light because there is people that want a little more weight in their rope. The Mach 3 Plus is a lighter rope with a lot of body. It's pulled down really tight. It's actually about 2 foot longer than the Mach 3. And what that does, it allows me to be able to reach that much further, have that much of a snap on my rope. That's one of the big things I believe in a head rope. You got to be able to snap it closed. I've never been one that was a big fan of the big pretty curl up behind the steer's head because that takes time. You want to be able to get your rope as tight, as fast as you can on the horns, and you don't want to wave it off. And that's why I like for my rope to have a lot of snap, and that's one of the reasons you'll see me use a lot of new ropes is I like to be able to snap the rope closed around the horns. Whenever you're throwing really fast, you want to get it tight on the horns. And that is the key to not waving it off. The faster you can get it tight on the horns, the better off you are. And that is one of the reasons I like the Mach 3 Plus. It's got a lot of snap to it. It's almost like putting English on a cue ball. If you can control your cue ball and handle your cue ball, it's the same as a rope. If you can handle your rope and make it do what you want to, it allows you to have more range with your rope. I spent a lot of time roping the dummy when I was younger, learning what I had to do to break down, to be able to reach, run close, understand, to be able to do the same loop 4 or 5 times over and over again. And that is one of the things that's on the agenda for the next month is I'm going to break down my reaching, show you drills, how to reach, show you why people have problems with their reaching, and show you how to work on your reaching so that you will be able to throw it from 20 to 25 feet back. It's all possible. It's simple. It's the angles and the way you throw your rope. But I will tell you, it's easier to reach with a lighter rope that has body than a heavy rope that has no body. And we'll break that down more on the inside of speedroping.com.